Hello, Community Bible Church. Wanted to make another building update video on this Monday morning here. And things are coming right along, and we are just so excited. And so I want to just give you a quick update, just even from the stage area. So you're going to see right behind me, the stage is coming along well. You'll even see some of the not drywall, the plyboard being put up there behind the stage. And if you look really closely, you're going to start to see even some cardboard up there. What we were doing last week is that we were trying to figure out the right size for our screen, and so we initially we ordered a screen, but then we realized, you know what, that's probably going to be pretty small, even though it's really big. Whenever you're in a really big room, the screen itself was not going to be big enough for us to probably see, whenever I put up some of my verses with some extra lines on there, or whenever you're watching some videos or things like that, it just probably wouldn't have been big enough there. So we were trying to come up with what is going to be the right size screen, and so it's actually going to be a good size, a good portion of the wall right behind me, so that's we're just hopefully will be big enough. I think it certainly will be with the newer size that we're looking to get here, and just to be able to allow everybody to engage. And one of the things that I also really like here, let me try to get a little bit further back so you can get a better view from it, is they put in at the very top, you'll start to see above my head, for lack of a better term, a little curtain above the stage there. That is all going to be covered up there, but it really just frames, I'll try to get out of the shot, it really just frames the stage really well, in my opinion there. And so it's just going to look really good, all things when everything is done there. And you'll see back behind the stage, let me give you a little backstage pass here, and there will be a couple actually rooms back here that will allow people to have a changing room, a little bathroom and changing room. It's going to be on the other side here. There's also going to be another room back here for some video elements, green room area. They're making loud noises. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. And there's a dark little hallway that will go back behind the stage. So this is backstage pass right now. And over here will be another little green room, if you will, with a bathroom and a shower actually even back there. Let me step out real quick. And so that will just allow for, especially for whenever people get baptized. You know, one of the things that is unfortunate with how we have our sanctuary set up right now is that you have to get baptized up on stage, and then you have to get out of there, kind of exposed to the whole world, if you will, and put on the towel and kind of run out and leave all the wet footprints all throughout the church building, which isn't a problem, but sometimes people can feel a little self-conscious about all of that, getting up and getting out and trying to get to a changing room back in the bathrooms. We don't have a changing room in our current building. So instead, what we're going to have here at our new building is whenever we set up a baptism tank, and we'll still set it up, something similar to what we have, a little bit easier to get in and out of, but we'll still set that up on stage, and then they'll be able just to take a step out, and then we'll have that door from the stage itself straight to the back of the sanctuary, and people will be able to go straight into a changing room, bathroom area, take a shower even if they wanted to, but then also that shower is going to be a blessing for whenever we have, if there was ever a hurricane or some sort of issue where we needed to provide an area for a homeless person to take a shower or something. We now have that. And so that's on the backstage here. And but then also what you're going to start to see here, I worked my way back to the lobby, and you'll start to see that they have put in stairs, and I've already gotten questions. I was like, hey, is there a second floor? No, so there's just above the mezzanine area, but that's going to be great storage for us to use. So you're never really going to see that on a Sunday morning. That's all going to be area that's really more or less an attic up there. But what is awesome about this mezzanine structure is that if you are in the lobby where I am currently at, it's going to be this big open area. By the way, they're putting in some more walls if you haven't seen that. So pretty much all the walls are going to be up here very soon. But then as you walk into the sanctuary, it kind of gets lower. But then as you walk in and you come and you see that stage one more time here, then it just really opens up, and it's this grand feeling area. It's just a great feeling space. You're really going to love it. But With all that being said here, we still have one big problem that we need to address here. Not with the construction, everything is going smooth with that. But if you were here yesterday, especially in one of our later services, then you might know what that problem might even be here. And that is when you compare this space to the space that we currently have in our sanctuary right now, you realize that, oh man, we do not have that much space right now. And so one thing that surprises some people about me is that I can actually be a little bit of a nerd when it comes to statistics and analyzing things. Actually, that's kind of what my doctorate degree was actually in organizational leadership. So I really like just looking at some of the organizational side of things and knowing some statistics about that. And, the week before and after July 4th is actually statistically one of the lowest attended weeks of the year for churches across this nation. And so typically the attendance is going to be about 25 to 30% lower during this in like the middle of the summer than it will be once the fall and spring happen, because everybody's going out of town for the summer break and all of that. Everybody's out of school. So normally there's just this like summer slump, summer dip in attendance. But if you were here yesterday, and really for most weeks around here, you realize that we are already still at max capacity. We had in our 9:45 service, we set up a good 20 plus chairs inside, overflow chairs inside the sanctuary, right where I'm standing in the back of the sanctuary. And then we had an additional about 10 folks or so in the lobby, even after all of that as well. And then in the 11:15 service, we didn't need people in the lobby, but we still had to have those overflow seats set up in the sanctuary itself. And so we have a big problem with this, because if statistics hold true and we are actually still like 25% lower than our normal attendance come fall or spring, then we literally just will not have enough space to put everybody. And that's a problem, because our whole job is to train people up and then send them out here. And so if we don't have a seat for them inside the sanctuary, it's going to continually be harder and harder to actually train them up. And we've had people that have come and said, man, I really like the church, but it was just too full. I don't like that. It just made me nervous with how full it was, or I couldn't sit with my family. And that's kind of how I determine if it's full or not. If a family of 4 comes in, there's probably still 4 seats spread out. But if you can't find seats together, then functionally it is full at that point there. And so here's what I am asking you to do. If you have made it to this part of the video, I'm assuming that you are engaged, you are part of our church here, you care about what's going on. And so here's the deal. We have a few more months, sometime in the fall, before Christmas is what our prayer has been to be finished. But sometimes before then, we're hoped to be done with the sanctuary outside. But until then, it is going to be tight here. It just will be. But we are a family, and a family bands together, and a family sacrifices for each other. And so if you are here and you are somebody that's involved, I'm just asking you, just genuinely asking, would you consider coming to either the Saturday night service or the 8:15 service from now until whenever we move into that building. Once we move into the building, we're going to have more than enough space for a long time to come there. But until then, we just need to make more space. And we know that most of our visitors do try out the 9:45 and 11:15 services first there, and those are the ones that fill up the quickest. And we would hate it if somebody that needed Jesus came in and got turned away, or just felt like they got turned away because it was too full in here. And so would you and your family just prayerfully consider saying, you know what, for 6 months we can do this. 6 months we can get up early. 6 months we can come on Saturday night here. And that would just be a tremendous blessing to our church here. And hey, even if you come to 9:45, usually there's even a few extra seats in the 11:15. So I'm just saying, even if you're like, I can't do it, but out of those 2 options, I'd still rather you come to the 11:15 service. At 9:45, we are just expecting to be more and more full, because once again, yesterday was one of the least attended Sundays of the year, and yet we were still over max capacity sitting people in the lobby. And so please just make that a matter of prayer, and please just consider that just to be a servant for you and your family, building over the next few months. And then once we get in that new building, we'll all come together and we'll have plenty of space to spread out there. But thank you so much. God bless, guys.